listening to Her Profit Era, the podcast for founders who want a business that actually works, a business that's profitable, predictable, and pays them well. I'm Cindy Kumar, a CPA, a fractional CFO from Abbotsford, BC, Canada. I'm the person founders call when they're tired of high revenue months with no money left over. I started this podcast because too many founders were chasing sales while their margins, cash flow, and bank accounts told a completely different story. I believe profit and money in the bank is the standard, not a bonus, and that every founder deserves clarity around their numbers. Each week, you'll get real financial strategy you can actually use and honest conversations with founders and industry experts about what it really takes to build a business that lasts. Today, I'm joined by Sandra Parker, the founder of Justine Haines, a brand redefining the conversation around women's health, confidence, and period care through innovative and fashionable period apparel. Sandra spent over 25 years in marketing and management before stepping into entrepreneurship and building a brand focused on helping women feel more confident, supported, and comfortable in their bodies. What started as a vision during the pandemic has grown into a movement centered around education, sustainability, and breaking the stigma around periods. I'm also excited because Sandra generously sent over some of her products to me, which I'm going to share here, which are really cool. So it's not the typical underwear. They even look like bathing suits. Pretty cool. This one's pretty cool as well. We'll be talking more about the products, but she's also offering a discount code for our listeners. So if you are interested in checking out the Justine Haines products after listening to this episode, check out the show notes for the special discount code for our listeners. So let's get into the conversation with Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Thanks so much for joining me on Her Profit Era.
Hi, Cindy. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's my birthday today. I am happy to spend it with you.
That's so exciting. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about period underwear, period health. I feel like there's so much shame around it and it's not
Yeah.
a conversation that we have openly.
I have never talked so much about periods and women's health until I launched this company. And I've learned so much, and I'm happy to share. I'm happy to answer all your questions today.
I'm excited. How did you get into period underwear and period health in general? Because I know you came from a creative fashion background.
Yeah. So I basically spent my career in fashion. I had an amazing career, Cindy. I was traveling. I started my career young. I knew what I wanted to do, and I climbed, and I really was enjoying a beautiful career. And then when the pandemic hit, everything was on hold. I was supposed to be traveling. I was supposed to be doing events and participating in events, fundraiser, PR, and everything stopped. And so during this time, I just took some time off. I did some consulting. I took a little vacation. And one night I was literally having a slumber party at my place with my nieces, and we're just chit chatting, girl talk.
Yeah.
They were in their young teens at that time. And they were talking to me about the whole shame in high school now. I didn't know about this. When you're in high school, when you're in elementary and you get your period, when you're too young, they shame you because you had your period young, and they can associate dirtiness or sluttiness with having the period when you're
So
still in
true.
elementary. And then, God forbid, you are in school, in class, if you're leaking, if your pad is big and it's showing, the whole shame surrounding that, as if it's not something natural. It's something that you should be ashamed of. And one of them was telling me her period is so heavy. If she raises her hand to go to the bathroom, the teachers male teachers might make her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I just asked them, guys, did you hear about this thing called period underwear? Like I had heard about it literally like from at a cocktail party where people were talking about developments and technology in fashion and
Yeah.
like all these materials that are being used now. So I said, guys, I heard about this thing called period underwear. And they said, never, we would be caught dead in that. They look like granny undies. And I'm like, no, they don't. I'm sure they don't. I'm sure there's something cute. I take my phone, and this is pandemic. So like 2020,
Yeah.
like everything at that point, there was an online store for everything. I search, I'm like, wait, nothing, 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 nothing. And then I specifically search fashionable. Then I search keywords like pink, printed, flower. And so they were right, there was nothing. And so there were some companies that were established that were dominating the women segment. So let's say like 35 and up with like high rise, blacks, neutrals. And
Yeah.
then there was the teen segment that had very things that were so cutesy that they were my nieces were already too old for that. The little daisies and the little cutesy, like you don't want to feel like a little girl, you don't want to feel like a granny, like they call it.
So true.
So the light bulb went off in my head, and it's a tattoo that I'm showing if you're listening. So a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like literally sitting down one day and I yelled out to my husband. I said, I'm not going back to work.
Oh,
I'm not
wow.
going back to work.
Yeah.
And he said, what are you going to do? And I said, because I had this idea, like my son's name is Justin. My husband, I call him Haines. That's his last name.
Yeah.
And so I just was doodling and I was like, Justine Haines, Haines with an I. That's how he spells it. I'm like, that would be so cute on a waistband. So I had a laptop. I'm sitting on the couch doing Netflix, doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I saw that the domain was available as well as the company there was nothing registered under that company name. So like less than $100 later, I bought the domain and I
Oh,
bought the
wow.
name. And I literally went, Haynes, I'm not going back to work. And it's like, what are you gonna do? I go, period underwear. It's like, okay. And it happened like across the hall on a pandemic night.
Yeah.
And so then I did a full year of R&D, at least a full year of like testing because I had never produced garments. I knew about the fashion industry because I worked in, you know, jobs relating to fashion, like management and PR and marketing, but never production, never. So I really I went to like YouTube school literally
Yeah.
to try to learn as much as I can because I had some savings, but I didn't want to blow my savings. It can happen really, really fast. But I had this idea and I had this vision of a waistband, for those who are watching, of a waistband that
Yeah.
said Justine Haines with an eye and that was like cute AF and that girls would like wear excitingly and they would be like, I can't wait for my period. Instead of like, I can't wait for my period to be over, I
So
can't wait for
true.
my period to start. And Cindy, guess what happened? Like almost 2 years later, when I launched the first line, or a year and a half later from that idea, they loved it.
That's
Everything
amazing.
I put out, I sold out, and the girls, the women. Well, I'll be honest. Like I had a vision of being a teenage company because my nieces were like my muse and they were my inspiration. So I thought I would really cater to young girls. And when I did my first market, to my shock, it was women like 35 to 45, even
Oh,
women who
wow.
didn't have a peer because everything was designed by me
Yeah.
who grew up in the 80s. So it was very like vintage feel, retro, colorful, and all these girls, like I have Archie prints. And
Yeah.
all these women, I say girls, but women that grew up in that generation, they were identifying with it. And then they came back and then they brought their daughters.
That's so
So I had the two
amazing.
segments. But yeah, so the women they really connected with it. They really like I knew I was onto something when I did
Yeah.
my first show, my first event. Yeah.
And was there something like internally where you're just like, I have this idea, I need to run with it? Like, I know a lot of people, when they want to start a business, there's so much fear and like doubts that come up,
Yes.
and then they just delay taking action.
People delay all the time
Yeah.
and In my job, I worked in fashion, but it was relating to education. So I was like, I was a teacher and I was a director in a school setting, like college setting. And so I saw a lot of people who they would be like 30, 40 years old, go back to school because they waited their whole life. And now they're like, I got this idea. I just need to go get the skill. And
Yeah.
I don't want to say they lost 20 years, but like I always say, like when your heart is telling you something,
Just go with it.
well, go with it smartly, but go with it definitely. And for me, it's not like I had an amazing career, but I always like, at 40, I went back to university and I would take electives, like business electives, where you would start a business plan. And it would be so fun. And I would have these ideas that I would do a business just for class and be like,
Yeah.
I've already done the budget. And I'd be like, Haynes, I should do this business. We should do this business. But I'm like,
Yeah.
you got a career, you got a mortgage, you got a kid. You're like, I know I would be good at it, but like, and you pass up. And so I always had that itch. I was just waiting for like the perfect idea, I think, and the perfect timing too. Because if it wasn't pandemic, if I didn't have the free time at that time, I would have probably just told somebody about it and told that person, you should do this. But I would have let it go. So it has to be opportunity and it has to be also the desire to do it.
And then for designing purposes, like how did you come up with like so much like colors, so many different
Yeah.
ideas? Did it just naturally flow to you?
It naturally flew to me. Like the first collection I did all by myself, in front of my computer. And I've always been someone, like, since I studied fashion at 17, like I know how to, like, when you study fashion history, you study trends, so you know the cycle of trends. So for example, like when the 70s are back, so like the orange and the gold, and then the 80s are back and the fuchsia. So I know about trends, I know about forecasting, and I know about incorporating that into a collection. So I always knew that. And so the first collection, had a mix of, I try to get a mix of everything. Someone who likes more like multicolor or more like subtle or some animal prints. I did a bit of everything. And then after that, I guess it's from doing markets and listening to people and watching people's reactions, seeing what sells best. For
Yeah.
example, like these penguins, um, I'll follow like certain, like the way like certain friends sell in other things. For example, bedding or just like in general, like there's prints, like for example, flamingos.
Yeah.
Like there's a cycle of like flamingos being in style. So like not necessarily in underwear. So I'll pull from that. So I'll pull from what's happening in the trends, but also what people tell me. And then when I know I have collections coming up and I have to kill something and keep something, sometimes I'll have it on my phone and I'll show clients, like, but between these four, which one
Yeah.
sets you off the most, and I will look in their eyes and we're like, oh, I can't wait for this. So it's a blend of all this.
And did you start with just like selling online or did you go to like markets, trade
Yeah.
shows? What did that look like?
So I started online and I want to say I did like buy a course. Like it was I think it was like 3 months full time. I bought a course. It was like $5,000 US, I think, that came with like a coach. And at the time, there was no chat GPT. So someone to help me with like ecom, someone to help me with writing. So like writing ads, writing descriptions, like the whole ecom thing, and also like communication. So I did have a course. And at the end of the course, and I had set a budget. So I had a business plan for anyone who's watching, like,
Yeah.
don't do it without a plan. So I had a business plan. I had a course that I took, and there was coaching involved that took me all the way to the launch online with the marketing that goes with that. So I launched online, and I launched with advertising, which was, well, that was like 3 years ago, about 3 to 3.5 years ago. There was like today, Meta, forget it. Like it's almost impossible. At the time, you could still put out ads without putting $1,000 a day and still get revenue back. So we launched North America. So I did have like US sales. I had like a bit all over and some international sales.
Wow.
But when you stop putting all that budget that you put into your business plan, like
Yeah.
then you're like, now what? Now what do I do?
So true.
So my husband husband again, he told me like, get out from the computer. I want you to go and do a market. So the National Women's Show was coming to Montreal, and I had nothing. Like I literally didn't have a hanger to hang something on. Everything I had was for online. So like packaging and things like that. But I didn't have a rack. I didn't have signage. I didn't have hangers. I didn't have labels. I didn't have furniture, curtains. Like I didn't have anything, mannequins.
Yeah.
So I went like marketplace. I got some mannequins. Same thing for the hangers. Marketplace, like in manufacturing, closing down, and it was pandemic still. So
Yeah.
um, there were a lot of things at a very good price. Like if someone's listening, like before you go buy new, like there's a lot of things. Like all my mannequins, I got them for like peanuts, literally peanuts. Um, but because unfortunately a lot of retailers were closing, so
Yeah.
I got a lot of things. I think I put in maybe 1,500 at most to do my whole setup. And then I was ready. And Cindy, like my first day, I didn't know if I was going to have enough inventory to finish the day. It was so amazing. Plus, it was great validation for me that people were walking up and they were like, are these bathing suits? I'm like, no, they're underwear and they're period underwear. And they like lost their minds. They lost their minds. And people did wear it, said, well, I'm going to wear it as a bathing suit
Wow.
because they match and they were cute and they look kind of bathing suit. Like they don't look like underwear. So
Yeah.
they're like, I'm going on a vacation. I'm going to be wearing it on the beach when I have my period. And I'm like, go girl.
That's amazing. And what is it about like period underwear compared to wearing like a tampon or pad?
Yeah. So let me show you one. And I'll show you what it looks like inside. So it's basically like there's 4 layers inside the garment. And so this is what it looks like. So let me describe it. So for someone just listening, so there's 4 layers. So first you have the fabric, and then inside there's something called pull, which is PUL, which is like if you wear a raincoat, or you ever bought reusable diapers. So it's like that, like you can hear that little noise. It's not plastic, but it is waterproof. And then you have bamboo cotton, which looks almost like terry cloth. So when I cut one out and I pull it out, you could see the cotton. It's nice and thick. And then you have this waffle layer on top. So that's what keeps you dry here.
Oh wow.
So and you could see like it's so soft, but like if anyone is watching, you could see like look how thin it is. It's thinner than a liner,
Yeah.
but it's more absorbent than a maxi pad.
That's
This little underwear is like 3 maxi pads.
wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And how long
Mhm.
can you wear it until you have to like wash it? Like how does it
Yeah.
work for
So
someone that has never worn like period underwear?
so if this one is like 3 maxi pads, well, basically, if on your first day, like on your heaviest day, you wear a maxi pad and then another one, and like let's say at 6 p.m. you've gone through 3,
Yeah.
then that's how long you could wear that.
Wow.
So the absorbency, like a lot of period wear companies, they call them tampons worth of underwear. But if you've never worn a tampon, like the person says, well, this is like 8 tampons worth. So if you've worn tampons, like on my first day,
Yeah.
I wear 10 tampons, let's say. I change 10 times. So 8, I could do 3 quarters of the day, for example. But if you wear 8 tampons in your first day, then that underwear can last you the whole day. So a lot of people like most companies, you'll see little tampons on the description.
Yeah.
I don't like to use that because I'm finding more and more like a lot of people, they don't use tampons. So when I say this underwear is like 12 tampons, like the shorts is 12 tampons worth of, that's 24 hours for most people or more. They don't know what 12 tampons is worth. So I just say 12 tampons is like 4 maxi pads. And most people know a maxi pad, like how many hours they can go with on day 1, day 2, day 3, day
So
4.
true. And like how do you just throw it in the wash and just wash it with like normal
Yeah.
clothes?
You just throw it in the wash and you just hang it up. Just no dryer.
Yeah.
That's it, Cindy. That's literally
Wow.
it.
That's so
And
simple.
I just celebrated 3 years at the women's show in March. So that was like,
Congratulations.
thank you. So 3 years ago, I launched in March at the women's show. And this year in March, I had a client who came to see me who bought from my first collection, which is the exact same quality, same construction, just
Yeah.
different prints. And she told me that her underwear, you can't tell that it's not new. And she bought
Wow.
nothing from me. She had
Yeah.
nothing to buy because 3 years of wearing it. And she told me that she wears it when she's not on her period. So she's wearing it more than like that 5 days a month. And she's just wearing it like for workouts, because you can wear them for workouts too, because it absorbs sweat or discharge or just to be comfortable. So to hear, because most period underwear, they last 2 years. That's the average life of a period underwear. So to know she's wearing it for 3 years and not just for her period, and they still look new, I was like, oh, that's amazing.
That is amazing. And I know you mentioned like on our last call that someone had bought like a white print and
Yes.
wanted to test it out because she didn't think it was true.
Yes. Let me see if I have it. Well, I have this in white. So yeah, so I was doing the bridal show in Quebec City. It's a 2 day show.
Yeah.
And this girl was, I think she was working for an event, like, because they sell different services. She was selling like event planning services, and she was super cute and she was doing content. She came over and she's all cute and
Yeah.
she's young. She's like, I've always heard about it, but I know it's not gonna work. She's like, I'm on my first day, and she goes, my period is so heavy. She goes, Niagara Falls.
Oh,
So she bought my little white shorts, and she's like, I'm very skeptical. And
yeah.
I'm like, try it out, let me know. And the
Yeah.
next morning she came to see me, and she purposely bought the white because I think she wanted to tell me like it leaked out.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And
I
it didn't
tried it.
work.
And so not only was she convinced and she was like, new customer for life, but she gave me a testimonial. She
Wow.
gave me a testimonial, and in the testimonial she says, I purposely took white to put it to the test, and it did not leak through.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, anyone listening, a lot of people, they still find it ick. Look, guys, it's coming out of your body, it's your blood, and it's like, I can understand like reusable diapers. A lot of women, when I tell them about this, and then I say, have you thought of trying also reusable diapers? And they go, no, no, I can't. Like, number two, I can't. And I get it. It's a biohazard. Like, it's not even like, I get it. For me, like, I would be blocked too. Not that I have a baby, but I would
Yeah.
be blocked too. But this, like, when you have a period, you're already manipulating your period blood. You're changing your pad, you're changing tampon, you're changing your diva cup. So you're manipulating, and blood that comes out of you from your period is so clean. It's a lot cleaner than other things,
Yeah.
when you go to the bathroom. Um, so you're already manipulating it. You're already wearing a pad, for example. The difference between a pad and an underwear is that you throw it in the garbage, but you're still manipulating it. So what if while you're manipulating it, you just threw it in the sink and rinsed it out, or washed it and hung it up? And that would be the difference. And also, it doesn't shift around like a pad.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like a pad, because a pad, like, and you can, on the pad it's white, you could see it. On an underwear it's black, you don't see it.
Yeah.
So it's, if anything, you're like further away from your blood than you were with a pad or a tampon.
That's
But I'm
true. That's
telling you, you
great
just have to
perspective.
try it. Hmm.
And what has it been like for the testing phase? I know you mentioned it took a year. So was it a lot of like trial and error for you?
No, it wasn't trial and error at all. It was just finding the right manufacturer. So if anyone's listening and is thinking of launching a brand, whatever it is, whether it's, fashion, electronics, furniture, hair extension, anything, you have to find a manufacturer you can trust, and not the first one, and not the cheapest one, and not the when something's too easy,
Yeah.
like it's your hard-earned money you're investing here, and you want it to be to your vision, right? So I took a long time. I went through like hundreds and then dozens of supplier, and then to find three suppliers that really suited me, but I couldn't pick between the three. So I tested with all three. And the
Okay.
process of testing with all three, you have to pay for that, but
Yeah.
it's a smaller scale. you have to wait for their production. So they will like do your pattern, they will print out your fabric, they will print out your elastic, they will print out your label, packaging, all of this. So each of these takes several weeks or months. And then you have to pick what you want to, like who you want to go with. And then once you, then you do more samples with that company and you fit it on a model and then you send it back. Or you like I was doing everything like videos on WhatsApp. It was really practical. We would do like FaceTime on WhatsApp. And then you produce, and producing is several months because then they're like it goes off in manufacturing, and then after it goes in a shipment on a boat. And I don't have huge scale, I'm a small company, so I don't fill a whole container. So my stuff gets put into container.
Yeah.
Once it's full, it leaves. So it could leave tomorrow, it could leave in a month. So, and plus it was pandemic. So the whole process was a good solid year. So if you're launching a company, um, I mean, I could have done it in 6 months, but I wasn't in a rush. I took that year to do some drop shipping and learn about e-commerce. I did my course, I prepared. I didn't have any fees for like a retail store or employees. So I really took my time. Maybe I could have done it in less, but I took my time.
Yeah. And what has it been like managing cash flow? Because I know you mentioned like the period where it lasts so long and then also managing inventory. So do you find like cash flow dips in certain months, or is it pretty stable with like new customers coming in, people finding out about your product?
Yeah, like right now I'm like super low because I just finished spending for all my summer and fall events, and it's thousands of dollars at every time. But once I start, and also inventory. So I'm inventory rich and I'm cash poor. So I have a lot of inventory and I have paid for all these events, including my first wholesale show. So you have to pay for all of this. But once I start getting into these events, then money is going to come in, money is going to come in, and then I save some aside to buy some restock.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And have you been paying yourself like a comfortable amount every month?
Yeah, so I'm not paying myself yet. And again, for anyone watching, definitely the goal is to pay yourself. I'm in year 3. So with my projection, like by the time between year 4 and 5, like at year 5, I will be paid. I will be paid because I'm like just now breaking even, just about. Uh, Still end of year, I'm breaking even and I have inventory. So like I'm almost there.
That's amazing. And what's like one money lesson you wish like you would have learned sooner?
So we had discussed this in the pre-interview, but I'll repeat it because I think it's important for anyone listening who wants to get into business or wants to grow their business. Do your homework and make decisions based on, numbers and logic, not your heart and not your emotion. Because for me, I can honestly say this. I've not made any like drastic money errors. Like
Wow.
I've done some collections that I had to mark down because people didn't love them,
Yeah.
but I still sold them at least at cost. I didn't lose money. I just didn't make money. But I'm talking about people that will go on Alibaba and they're researching like a product. Like they send their design, they send their specs,
Yeah.
they get a quote that is like so amazing. And they get a sample that's okay, or maybe they don't get a sample and they send off all their money, and maybe the supplier will tell them, pay me friends and family on PayPal and you'll save $1,000. That sounds amazing. Saving $1,000
Yeah.
when all you have in your bank account is $10,000 for your whole business. It's like a tenth of everything. And errors like that, I mean, your shipments that doesn't make it to you, you've lost everything. You wanted to gain 1,000, you lost 10,000. Same thing for manufacturer. Like I see all the time on when I was doing all my YouTube research. Um, there wasn't TikTok yet so much, but a lot of companies on YouTube, like a lot of young girls that were making these sweatshirts and they were making these scrunchies and all like, and they were growing with their little business at home, or lip gloss. They were showing the stuff they were getting, like the lip gloss cases all broken, and there's no warranty, and they've lost everything. These little girls, like they put in all their savings into this or their unemployment. So do your homework. I can honestly say I've not made any financial mistakes that were costly to my business, because all you need when you have a small business is one bad mistake,
Yeah.
trusting the wrong person, not doing your due diligence, not doing your homework, not preparing, and your business can't survive it. So yeah, I can honestly say I've been doing well, and I've been like, to me, putting out a collection that doesn't fly off the shelves, that's not a financial mistake, because if you don't do it, you don't know. I'll give you an example. Like, I did some yoga wear. In my head, it was going to fly off because I'm the first one to do it. No
Yeah.
one's doing it. In the end, like, the people who bought it, they loved it. And if you're watching this and you want to see what it looked like, scroll down in my feed from like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The collection was beautiful. Obviously, the models, it looks amazing on them, but it's not everyone that can wear that. It was very niche. Whereas, like, if you want to grow, like, being niche is not, maybe once you've grown, you could try some niche products. So I liquidated it, but I made a lot of people happy with it, and I at least paid back what it cost me. And I hadn't, it was a test, like, it was in huge, huge quantities.
Yeah.
So that's one example, but I wouldn't call that a financial error, because I wanted to try it out, and everything I do is a trial. So,
So true. Yeah.
um,
That
yeah.
totally makes sense. And like you've written a like blogs, you do a lot of TikToks, you talk about period health. So are there like common questions you keep seeing come up over and over?
Yeah, so I've dedicated, like, my mission is to bring happy periods to the world. And as far as content goes, my content is like maybe 15% merch and 85% is educational. And so I started answering questions. I started checking out on Socrates.com. It's like a site where you can see the most asked questions on a topic. And so I would go and see the 100 most asked questions when it comes to periods, period health, women's health,
Yeah.
and start writing blogs, and so also writing videos, like making videos. And at one point, I was answering questions on Quora, which is where you can ask an expert a question, and it had grown to like over 1 million, yeah, in the followers. And the two questions, I'm going to have you guess. Can you guess the two questions that were asked to me the most? And it was like on a weekly. I would sit down once a week to answer questions, and there would be at least two to three of each of these two questions. Can you guess what was the most asked questions when it comes to periods?
What comes to mind is like, why do I get my period or when is this gonna end?
Yeah, so I would never have thought this, but the two questions that were asked the most, number one, how can I start my period? Yes, you heard me right. So little girls who haven't started and all their friends have it,
Yeah.
like, they want to accelerate this. Yes, you
Wow.
heard me right. So this was like daily or weekly. And number two is even more shocking and even more disturbing. How can I end my period? So they have a pool party. Again, it was like a lot of young girls. They have a pool party, they have a wedding, they have whatever. Like, they want to end it. Like, and then sometimes in the comment section,
Yeah.
girls would jump in and say, try to take this kind of spice, try to do this. I go, stop. Or
Yeah.
like, get this
Birth
supplement at the
control.
pharmacy. And I'm not going to name them because I'm not going to encourage this behavior.
Yeah.
So that was shocking to me, and there was a lot of things that were shocking to me. I would like be answering questions, and I'd be telling my husband like, "Oh my God, this girl is 12. She doesn't know what's coming out of her body. She has no period education whatsoever. She's freaking out. She's writing to me while I'm having
Yeah.
supper with my family." It was shocking to me, like, the lack of education in this wealth of data surrounding us, where you can get an answer on any platform by just asking, ChatGPT,
Yeah.
what's coming out of my body, and they're asking me, a lady who owns an underwear store, they're asking me, and they're telling me, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So that was really shocking.
Do you have any tips for like moms or even young girls that are getting their period, like how to like I guess like normalize that kind of conversation because I'm just reflecting when I started my period, I never had that conversation. My period
Mhm.
just started, and then all of a sudden I'm asking my mom questions. I
Yeah,
had like an older cousin that lived with me, so I was telling her what's going on, and it's just
yeah.
like it was like very shocking.
So I have two kinds of moms when I do events. I have two kinds of moms. The ones that will start buying a kit for their daughters before they get their periods.
Wow.
And then together we talk to her about, if you have these little cramps, just wear the little boxer at night. If nothing happens, throw it in the wash. Wear the little undies at school. They're super cute. No one can know. And then just throw it in the wash. And the day your period will come, you'll be like, hey, mom, got my period, but I'm good.
Yeah.
So there's those moms that are open to the conversation. And then there's the moms and the dads that hold their little girl's hand. And sometimes she's 11 and a half. Dude,
Yeah.
she's 11 and a half.
Yeah.
Could be tomorrow, could be yesterday.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I don't need that. And then they will tell the daughter, oh, that's not, because a lot of little girls will see the prints
Yeah.
and they think it's bathing suits and they want to touch it. And then they will hold their daughter's hands and say, no, 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 she doesn't need that. And they run.
Oh,
So if you're that mom who runs, um, oh, I can help you. Like we can FaceTime, come and see me. I'll talk. I've had like at one point, because I do have like sessions, like people come to my home and they
wow.
try on in a really safe environment. And at one point I had three moms all with all their daughters. Some had more than one daughter. And I explained to them about their body, and they all left with the little package. Some had their periods already, some didn't.
Yeah.
But they left like feeling safe, feeling like it's not shameful, and like, oh, when my period comes, it won't hurt, and I'll be protected. So try, moms out there, dads out there, try to open your mind a little bit, because holding her hand tight, saying you're not there yet.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Like I had the youngest I've ever had was 8 years old, this
Wow.
little girl, and the mother was already my client.
Yeah.
The mother was very small, very petite, and very small, like skinny, like less than 100 pounds. So like very petite, and the daughter was the same. She was a stick. She had no breasts, she had no curves, she had probably no hair. And she got her period at 8 years old. And when she sent me a picture,
Yeah.
she looks 6, the girl. Like she looks 6. She got her period. So what if that's your daughter and you're saying, it's not gonna be her, it's not gonna be her. Guess what? It could be her and she was sheltered. So have the conversation. It doesn't have to hurt, like have the conversation.
Yeah, that's so true.
Mhm.
And what's like your best selling product currently?
Right now, I would say the boxer, like a boxer like this,
Oh, that's cute.
because it's got a pad that goes from front to back.
Wow.
So, and it's like fitted enough that you could wear it under jeans, but you could wear it at home with just a t-shirt, no clothes needed. Like, look at the pad, front to back.
Yeah.
So, and like, I sell a lot of black, but the black even has the pink waistband, but also, the prints, because like they make you feel cute, cute, cute. Like,
Yeah.
like if you wore this at home with just a t-shirt, and I have the long version too. So if you wore this at home with just a t-shirt, you'd be like not feeling like you're missing something. No one would ever wear an underwear with a maxi pad and just a t-shirt. Because God forbid, like it shows, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
then, like, who knows that you have your period? Like, how cute.
That is so cute.
So
Yeah.
that's the number one right now.
And like, what other design, because you have so many different prints. I know you did sports bras too. You're kind of testing that out.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I'll
is it
show
a
you.
lot of like taking feedback from your clients on what they like?
Yes, I think what makes me stand out from other brands is that I'm in Montreal, so I do a lot of events, like a lot of events. And I do events like the wedding show, the women's show, but I also do Comic Con and more artful markets, and I do a lot of LGBTQ like prideful events in Montreal. So I've seen like a range of clientele,
Yeah.
and I listen. And when they're in the fitting room and they say, I wish this was longer, like the long short, this doesn't exist on the planet. It doesn't exist. Like no one has done it yet. And I do it because I've heard my customers ask me. So I was like, I already have the pattern for a short. So I'm like, okay, let's make it longer. People like they lost their mind that wanted this. And like let's say you're like wearing a skirt and you have some, like who doesn't have some skin between there? Like, the chafing is an issue for
So true.
99% of us.
Yeah.
So this was something that I was asked. Same thing for I have a cheeky underwear
Mhm.
that's high rise. So it doesn't go under the butt, it goes over the butt, and
That's
you have to see the photos to really appreciate it. Uh, it does look really comfortable, and it sets your butt free without being a thong. So it just sets the butt free. So that too, it was a request that I had. So I am doing a test with that one. So yeah, I listen a lot when customers talk, and instead of saying, "Well, I don't have that," I'm like, "Oh, I will keep it in mind for the future."
yeah. And then if someone's like visiting your website like online and they're looking
Yeah.
at the designs, trying to figure out sizing, like how would they figure that out? Do you offer like virtual consultations as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I think I have my sizing like pretty. I have like a way that so far has never failed me. So you go in the sizing section and you take a measuring tape and you measure your own underwear. That's your favorite underwear. That's the style like on the photo. And you measure it and you look on the chart, and that measurement plus your waist, plus your dress size, like all of that, like you'll be able to find your size. Like a medium is a true medium. If you're a medium in like a North American brand, like let's say Joe Fresh or like George from Walmart, like brands that are everyone has something in their closet of Joe Fresh,
Yeah.
which is very North American. Like you buy it without trying it on because you're medium, you're going to be medium. It's the same for me.
Yeah. And you had mentioned on our previous call, like you make sure like you're accessible. I know you mentioned like when a pilot needed like period underwear and you rushed it to her. Could you share that story too?
Yes, so I live by the airport in Montreal, and I once got well, not a text, but like a phone, a notification from my shop. Someone's there and has an emergency, and it was a woman pilot, and she was gonna be in like a kind of simulation for 12 hours the next day, and just got her period as she landed. So I actually went over to her hotel, which is 5 minutes from my house, not
Yeah.
even. And I went there with stuff on hangers for her to try on and my little Shopify top thing.
Yeah.
And when she told me that, I was like, I can't imagine being in a situation where I'm not allowed to get up for 12 hours for my job. So what do you do? If you're a truck driver, bus driver, if you're in train, like, I mean, what do you do? And like even like forget profession, like if you're running a marathon, you prepare your body for running 5 hours, and if your period comes you have to stop. Even though you don't have to stop, you have to stop to change your tampon,
So true.
because even a super, it's not going to last you five, plus you have the hour waiting. I used to run races. That was like my favorite sport. And it's like I can't remember running when I didn't have a period. It's like karma would always make
Yeah.
my period come the night before the race. It'd be like, why do you mock me?
Yeah.
And I would like take tampons and put them in saran wrap, like out of the packet in saran wrap, and I would stick them in my waistband, and so I could just easily pull one out. But you have to like find a place to change, and also you have to stress about like, is it time now? Can I go another mile? Do I go like? And so it really messes with your rhythm and with your concentration, and it's not necessary. And I have like active wear shorts like these, like um women have run marathons races with it
Yeah.
without having to stop.
That's amazing. Yeah. Even for myself, I'm just thinking like every time I travel, go on vacation, I get my period.
Yeah. Now you can be cute. Like you can look
Yeah.
forward to it and be like, I'm gonna be wearing my bathing suit. I'm gonna be cute.
Yeah, and you sent me like so many like beautiful designs.
You
I
like
was
it?
waiting for this episode so I could like finally share things. Like these are so cute.
Oh, the newspaper. And I sent you
Yeah.
lots of sizes because I wasn't sure. And whatever doesn't fit you, you can
Yeah.
gift them. And
And
you
like these
can
even look like bathing suit bottoms too.
they do. I
Yeah.
have an 80-year-old woman who bought the shorts like that to go
Yeah.
to Jamaica. And
Oh
I'm
wow.
guessing she was 80 because her daughter looked 60, but
Yeah.
she was maybe like 85 and she was gonna just strut her stuff.
Yeah, like the
What's your
design
favorite?
so different. Like even the Archie one. Like these are
Yeah,
so
that's
cute.
really beloved.
And
And
like
a lot of people like they wear different sizes depending on the day of their period. So all of it may fit, or
yeah,
you may want to gift some. But yeah, some you may want to wear tighter, some may want to wear looser. But yeah, now you can have your vacation period in
yeah.
style and be cute and be like, oh no, I don't want my period, but I want to wear my stuff.
Yeah, I'm like excited to try all of them. I love like bright colors. So
Yeah,
as soon as I saw like you reached out on Instagram and we had connected and just like so many like beautiful designs.
yeah. Thank you so much.
What did like the next 3 to 5 years look like for you and the business?
Yes, so I'm doing my first wholesale show in July,
That's
which like
exciting.
I told myself like this is the year I'm gonna do it. So I've been preparing for this for at least 6 months to have the samples and to also have the connections, like make contacts with boutiques and invite them because you don't just like show up, right? You have to
Right.
prepare. So I've been preparing for this, working so hard. So hopefully the next time maybe we speak, you're gonna see on my website like dots on the map of like
Yeah.
all the places you can find Justine Haines. So that's the next part for Justine is retail, like being in retail stores and maybe eventually having a little retail store. Maybe. Um I I mean, a lot of brands are doing that because it's a great window to their brand. So maybe having a little store in a mall, maybe. You never know. I could see myself doing that. I really love the retail. I love the contact with the customers, and so maybe like can't you picture it? Like it'd be the brightest store in the mall. It'd be like the hottest pink little store in the
Yeah.
mall. So maybe.
Yeah. And would you do like retail pop-ups like across Canada or you think you just like Montreal?
So I've gone as far as Toronto,
Okay.
and it's I wouldn't say no. It's just like retail pop-ups across Canada. When you have a cosmetic brand, is not the same as when you have a clothing brand
So
with
true.
racking. It's the cost of it. Like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Um, it's a lot. It's a lot, but you never know. But I've gone as far as Toronto. I'll go where I can go by car.
Okay. That
I'll
makes sense.
go back and go by car. So I'd like to try the Maritimes because I've never tried that. Definitely like Quebec City is incredible for me. Ottawa is really great for me, but like Quebec City specifically because they don't have anything like that. So maybe trying the Maritimes, wherever I can go by car for now. But to fly with all this stuff, like when you think
Yeah,
of the
it's a lot.
cost, it wouldn't, or you'd have to rent all the racking and all this. It wouldn't really be worth it, but
Yeah.
I'd rather be in retail store. If you're listening to this or you're watching this and you have a retail store or you buy your underwear in a favorite retail store, let us know which store you want to see this stuff in, and I will reach out to them and
Yeah.
tell them that you'd like to see this stuff in your local mall or whatever. And maybe that's how you can find my stuff in your local store in your area.
That's amazing. And then how about like marketing? So like are you doing a lot of like video content? Are you collaborating with like influencers? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I've done the influencer thing. It's a big like I want to say like a puzzle. It's a like you have to understand it and you have to have budget. It's like
Right.
advertising on Meta, advertising on Google. It's not just like you throw gifts at people. So I did like I was at first I just threw gifts at anybody
Yeah.
and I would get stories, I would get traffic, but
Yeah.
not I did nothing like very strategic. And then after that, like beginning of the year, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be strategic. I'm gonna go and pick 5 people. I'm gonna like that I followed, and then after that, well, they'll do a story. It works out well, but now I'll do a reel for you, and it's 5K, and I'm like.
Yeah.
5K for one reel, the investment is so huge, it may bring you back nothing.
So
So I'm
true.
like, okay, it's not for me, so let me do all my own content. So I'm on TikTok right now as we speak. right
Yeah.
now, like me, hi, up here. And I'm on TikTok every single day. Every day. I'm on TikTok every day, and then so I'll do a live every single day. Sometimes there's lots of people, sometimes there's one person, but I'm there every day. We're talking about periods. I give out freebies. I give out advice, and then I'll take a minute of that and use the content from all my platforms. So I like recycle it as content. So instead of just shooting it and then posting it, I shoot it live. So and it's like to win the TikTok game, you have to be really
Right.
patient, and every day is a little bit more, every day is a little bit more, so I'm on there every single day.
Yeah. And then did you feel
I am Justine Haines. What's
did
that?
you feel comfortable like being on camera talking about periods and like seeing the comments come in or questions? Because I know there's so much fear around that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like anything. At the beginning, I wanted to do everything except do this. Like I tried
Yeah.
everything, and I tried the influencers. I tried making the content and posting. I tried paying for ads. I tried everything, and finally, and I saw people succeeding on TikTok that would they were wrapping orders like every minute the phone's ringing with orders and they're
Yeah.
packing, and I asked some of them that I went up to them and met them at events like the big national show, and I just asked them, like, can I ask you, you're my TikTok idol. Can I ask you, like,
Yeah.
how are you doing this? And they said, consistency. I've been doing it for 5 years. Okay, that's all I needed to know. So I've been doing it for, just a few months.
Yeah.
So and every time you finish a live, it will tell you your ranking compared to other creators like yourself. And it will say you have done more than 78% of creators in your category,
That's
or
amazing.
85% or whatever. So, like people are quitting. They're
Yeah.
starting, they're quitting. And I did start last year. That was my January. Like I set up like a really elaborate studio in a room that now is my storage. But
Yeah.
I set up a really elaborate studio. It had like a lot. It had mannequins and had a huge giant wheel, and it had bins for packing orders and prizes, and it had the light. It had so much, and I would get all dressed up, and I would go, and the live would be an event, and no one would show. And so I did 15 of them, and I just gave up
Yeah.
because I was like, why did I do all this? And I even would bring models and I'd spend on that. So
Yeah.
um, now it's just me behind my rack and like my curtain. I just show up, I just slap on lipstick, and I just go on there and I think of a topic and off I go. And then we just go from there. And I've got prizes and I just talk about periods and to whoever wants to come.
That's amazing. Yeah, I feel like consistency is so key.
Yes, don't overthink it. Just jump into it. It's like it's literally the best comparison that I can make when it comes to succeeding on social media, especially TikTok, is like going to the gym. So, my husband, shout out to him. He's won Mr. Canada 3 times. He's a bodybuilder, and he's come first in his category in everything he's ever competed in. And the way he wins and the way he built that body was one day at a time in the gym, consistency, diet, training, uh, rest, hydration. Like it didn't happen. Like people, they'll go and they'll touch their muscles and then be like, how'd you do, like what do you do, like
Yeah.
how much you press, bro? And then like we like to go to McDonald's, so he loves to treat himself to McDonald's, and he'll be in McDonald's and the dudes with the belly, they'd be like, bro, like how often do you work out? And he's like, I, I don't. He's just like he's just messing with them. But like, to win a show, to be the first to get a six pack, you don't just say I want a six pack and go to the gym twice a week and eat French fries. You
Yeah.
commit every single day, every single day. So if you want to succeed in your business, you want to succeed at TikTok, you want to succeed at anything, like there's days you go to the gym and like your body hurts, you want to throw up, you want to sleep, you want to like find every excuse, but you have to do it. And these girls that we see on TikTok, I say girls because that's what my algorithm is pushing me to see, right? But like I see girls like these girls that are selling fashion items on TikTok live.
Yeah.
They have been at this every day, dude. Like they
Yeah.
have been at this every day and showing up. Like there's a brand called Pop Underwear, and I really admire them. They don't do period underwear, but they do fashionable like poppy underwear like this with prints and matching tops, and they do men's and women's.
Yeah.
These girls are on TikTok live twice a day, every day.
Wow.
Twice a day, every
Yeah.
day. And they're packing orders, but they are there every day, every
Yeah.
single day, twice a day. So, I'm sure there's days they don't feel like doing it.
Yeah. But you just have to show up.
Just 1 second. I'm just going to tell TikTok as we're talking about TikTok that I'm still there.
Okay.
So there we go. Perfect.
Yeah, it's so much about consistency and like I feel like it's so important as like a founder to connect with your audience, show like the person behind the brand.
Absolutely. I think that's and like I was not, I wouldn't say hiding, but I was doing everything to not be on camera. I think I just didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want to be
Yeah.
on camera. I wanted to be behind the camera. I want to show the models. I want to show the product. I fought it and I fought it and I fought it.
Yeah.
And then when I saw what was working is people in front of the camera,
Yeah.
like because people want to buy the story, they want to buy from you,
Yeah.
like they want to buy, like even without naming names, but the biggest period underwear company probably in the world right now, the founder of that company, she is behind and she does videos herself.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's days she didn't want to, and we know who that is. And like, so every success story, people want to connect with the founder, and they can nowadays. They can, like even like your favorite soda,
Yeah.
uh, tea or chocolate or whatever, like Midday Squares, like the dude is so pleasant. Like
Oh,
I
I
could
love his
listen to him
videos.
talk. He's so pleasant.
Yeah.
And so would I buy Midday Square because I'm buying from him? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're supporting a dude. He's from Montreal.
Yeah.
He had this idea, but like so you're buying from the company, you're buying from the person. So I knew if I want to succeed, I have to show myself because when I do events, it's me who's there
Yeah.
and they're buying from me and they're buying from my mission, and they're buying from my designs, and they're buying from, like, they believe in me, and
Yeah.
now they can buy the product. So you definitely, I mean, can you succeed without showing yourself? Maybe you can, but you can succeed better. Like, look at you. If you weren't there and it was just your voice, like they
Yeah.
want to see you. And like I fell in love with your podcast because it was you and your personality and your way of interviewing. So
Thank you
yeah,
so
I
much.
really yeah, for sure. But yeah, I really feel like you have to show yourself nowadays, especially.
Yeah, and I think like shopping has also changed as well because people want to go to
Mhm.
the store. They want to support small businesses. Like even for
Yes.
myself now, it's like if I've seen a business on Dragon's Den, like you know
Yeah.
about their story, you're following them on Instagram. And it's like when you go to the like Whole Foods or a grocery store, you see their product and you're like, I'd rather prefer this over like a big corporation.
1000%. Like Dragon's Den, and then here in Montreal, dans le Dragon, the French version.
Yeah.
1000%. If I see someone there, I start following them on social
Yeah.
media. And when I'm at the grocery store, if it's food, or when I'm at a mall, or even like the National Women's Show, if you want to see the Dragons Den success stories, they're all there because
Wow.
it's a national show and it's a
Yeah.
huge platform. So you'll walk around the show and you'll be like, Dragons Den, Dragons Den, Dragons Den.
Yeah.
And often I'll just go and introduce myself, but it's so inspiring. And you're like, wow, this, for example, like can of soda or tea or whatever, or alcohol or candy came from someone down the street from me who had this idea just like me. And now they're on shelves at like a huge grocery store, and I could actually talk to them. So
Right. Yeah.
definitely you want to support them.
Yeah, for sure. And like you mentioned, like you don't have a team hired, you manage everything yourself. So how do you like manage your time?
Um, I mean, my career before this was management, and I had
Okay.
teams of like 100. I've
Wow.
had teams of over 100. Yeah, yeah. So admin is my number one. Before anything, admin is my number one qualification in life. It's admin. So that's my easiest thing that I do is the management of money, management of time, management of stress also pretty much. Like, I mean, I have anxiety like everyone. You're taking money from your like future,
Yeah.
from your retirement, and you're like not gambling, but like it's not you do have more anxiety, but I manage everything pretty well from my background.
And then, like, even on the personal side, like spending time with your son, your husband, like, do you feel like it's easy to disconnect from the business, or do you feel like you're always working?
No, I make time. Like, my son is like doesn't live at home anymore. He's a grown man.
Oh,
So like when I see him and his girlfriend, the four of us with my husband, we hang out.
yeah,
We're able to have fun. Of course, if I get a message on my phone and it's work, I'm gonna take it. Like,
yeah.
even if someone just wants to ask a question about sizing or delivery, there's nothing I could be doing that.
Wow.
Like, I'll stop what I'm doing and answer because I just feel so blessed that they're on my site shopping my products. So I will answer right away. But no, I know how to have balance. I mean, I had a professional career before that
Yeah,
still, even though I was in my business, I worked a lot and I often had to take emails even on vacation. But then after that, I noticed, okay, like, let's go and have fun and let's disconnect. And for sure. And I have an amazing husband. My son is amazing. Like, yeah.
yeah. And what is like the best way for our audience to connect with you?
So info@justinehaynes.com. That's the email.
Okay.
But literally every platform, like from Pinterest to LinkedIn to TikTok to YouTube to Google, like I'm on every single platform, Instagram, Facebook.
Wow.
I have a private Facebook group also. It's called Everything um, Peer Solution for Social Gas. So that's a private group where we're about 1,000, where I'll put some, like, if you want to discuss something, like you want to get advice from just that small group. But I'm on every platform. I am Justine Haines is usually the handle on most of those. But yeah, if you go on my site, you'll see all the links. And like I said, it's me who's going to answer you. So if you do want to discuss face to face, we'll do a FaceTime with your daughter. We'll do a FaceTime. In Montreal, you could come and see me. Or if you want to catch me at an event, I do it like I said earlier, like I do go as far as like Ottawa, Quebec. So you can find my events on my platform in the event section. But I'm very easy to get a hold of, for sure.
Thank you so much, Sandra. I'll share all your details in the show notes.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to go for my exercise walk, but this time I'll be listening to myself and your
Aw, you're so
article.
sweet. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Take care.
If you're a founder who wants real strategy, not noise, and you want someone in your corner helping you build a business that feels aligned, is profitable, and actually supports your life, you can apply for CFO on Call. This is my one-on-one financial partnership for established founders, typically making between $500K to $2 million, who want clarity, who want structure and confidence with their numbers. The link is in the show notes so you can schedule a profit strategy call, or you can DM me CFO on Instagram at @CindyKamar and I'll send over all the details.